Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Jonathan Friedman, and our next guest in the studio at Radio Entrepreneurs is Larry Feinberg. Larry is the founder and CEO of KnipBio. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about your company?
So KnipBio is a source of single-cell protein. What we're trying to do is provide sustainable and healthy food for our food, specifically aquaculture or farm-raised fish or shrimp. So the current formula of taking fish from the ocean, grinding them up and feeding them to fish on farms, not only is it unsustainable, but it's probably not very healthy, and there's a whole bunch of other issues, social injustice issues, and a lot of multiple issues there. So we are...
Fish have feelings too.
Well, fish might have feelings too. So, I guess on the very high level, instead of brewing beer, we're brewing protein. And this protein can be collected into a flour and then milled into a feed pellet. So we fed it to shrimp and salmon and trout, even clownfish at the New England Aquarium, and seen some really great results.
And so this would be a means to replace the traditional food patterns that you've mentioned. So how did you come upon this? It seems like a very interesting niche.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your background?
So I'm a microbiologist by training. Went to University of Massachusetts, so relatively local guy. Always had sort of a bigger picture, sort of thinking about life on other planets to begin my degree, and then ultimately came to the idea that, there probably is life on other planets, but it's this planet that really matters. So what can I do to really make this place a better place for me and ultimately my children? And went into the biofuels world when there was $140 barrel oil and wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and thinking, not only a great way to help the country, but also, have an environmental stewardship perspective. And then that energy landscape changed dramatically in about 2012 era and onset of fracking. And so it was other really important issues out there that I figured, hey, what can I go address? And food and nutrition is something important to me. I've been a vegetarian and a pescatarian now for a bunch of years. In fact, I haven't eaten red meat since 1998.
Wow.
So that's quite a streak all of a sudden. That's a lot of years. And so, thinking about, maybe grass-fed beef could actually be more sustainable than fish from the ocean just felt wrong. And so, what could I do to maybe try to address that? And so kind of combining my fermentation, not just love of making beer, but also my training and things that I was passionate and cared about. And there comes KnipBio.
Well, it's a fascinating story. So where are you in the process of developing your product, and is it commercially available, and
so
who is your customer, and all those great questions?
Yeah. So we've been developing the technology for about 3 years now. So we're primarily an R&D company. We'll be launching some products in early 2017. So we're just turning the corner there and entering the next phase of the company. And our customers, actually, it's very interesting because what our end users are not necessarily our customers, right? So it's a B to B, maybe to B, then to C kind of company. And so in other words, we'll manufacture this flour and sell it to a feed manufacturer that then sells the pellet to a farm. Everybody wants to start off with a few $1 million and get going, right? And I don't know that that's sort of reality, at least hasn't been my reality. It's been very systematic, sort of, get a little bit of support, show some milestones in development, and kind of keep walking up the ladder from getting additional investors and support and hitting additional milestones and, showing progress across the trend. And that's been probably, now that we're on the other side in terms of success, a very organic way to grow an early stage biotech startup.